Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 18 of the Inside Sports Podcast. Yes, the DE is capitalized. Get it through your skulls,
It
guys.
always is.
Always is. We've been talking about
It's
this.
never changed.
People always ask us this, and we say, guys, the DE is capitalized. How many times do we have to say it?
They'll
Type it on their computer, they just forget to do
Yeah.
it sometimes. Like, dude, come on.
Nevertheless, we're going to break you guys in with covering some women's basketball. We got 2 wins in the same week. We crushed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was just me being a part of the camera crew must have really helped because...
Yes, you attended the games.
Because, hold on now. We're not going to start this whole thing again because I attended the games, folks. He's lying.
Both of them. I didn't lie. I said,
Did you?
The ones last week,
You were camera crew for both of them?
I worked with camera crew for both of them, and we killed him. I mean, you talk about Promise Taylor during the second game. Historic SIU performance.
Historic.
That was awesome. I mean, triple-double with blocks. She literally, we were catching one during the camera crew. We were like, just keep locked on Promise Taylor. Like, we got to cut to her every other second because she's getting a block in every single second of the game. What a great performance. What a great week. Love to see this turnaround from women's basketball. Hopefully we can carry that going into this next week of hoops and then into Hoops of the Heartland.
Yeah, I mean, I think this offense could make this team sneaky good going into the tournament. I mean, if they had another 100-plus point performance.
Yep.
I think that's the third on the year so far. I mean, how many of those do you have just in one season, much less 3?
Exactly.
And then, like Promise Taylor, like you said, triple-double. I'd want to know when the last time we had a triple-double, at least with SIU's women's basketball team. So, I mean, terrific stuff so far.
That's a good point.
We're going to miss Promise and Ashley Jones next year because they both got honored with that senior night.
Mm-hmm.
We just want a way to finish out our home season at the Banterra Center. But we got UNI and Drake coming up here on the road. Something I wanted to note, the last time we played UNI and Drake, it was also back-to-back. That was right before the implementation of the Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to just see how we perform against them, noting that we kind of made some of those defensive changes. Whatever differences we make, we'll continue onto the road against them.
That's a really good point to make.
Yeah, the offense hasn't skipped a beat, but the defense, you guys just talked about it a lot. Stepped up, Promise Taylor, become kind of the centerpiece of that defense. There's one thing about Promise Taylor that you guys may not know. Did you know that I don't know how many players have ever done this, she now holds a single season blocks record at 2 schools.
Really?
Wow.
Can you guess the other school?
Yeah, what school did she go to?
I've done my research on her.
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
a huge big fan, of course. Ole Miss.
Almost.
She started her career at Ole Miss.
Wow.
She holds a single season blocks record there. She did it as a freshman at Ole Miss. Had some
That's
injuries
impressive.
along the way. Found her way to SIU here with Kelly Bond White, and now she holds the single season blocks record at SIU. So what a fantastic game from Promise. Let's see if we can get some momentum going to Northern Iowa, going to Drake. Teams that we held our own with for 3 out of the 4 quarters that we played them the first time here at home. But yeah, it's been incredible to see that development on the defensive end. Let's hit it hard.
And the last thing I want to point out, just because we're talking about defense so much, is I honestly have witnessed a lot of improvement from Ashley Jones. It's not to say that Ashley Jones was a subpar defender, but when we did our little film breakdown on the women's basketball team, I remember one of the clips specifically pointed out Ashley Jones's, her just in. We'll cut this out, but her. It was like a mix-up. Yeah, her mix-up of the switch that she needed to do on the help. And there were just multiple instances where I was looking through the team and I was going, okay, where are these defensive liabilities at? And I'm not going to lie, Ashley Jones was a part of quite a couple of those. But honestly, from the defense I saw these past 2 weeks, I mean, she's been like hounding the ball really, really hard. And we pointed out in the second clip where she's just gotten better since this Breakfast Club thing. It's so incredible to see her do so well on offense and now on defense. We got a real legit team here. So I'm pretty excited for it. Let's move on to the men's basketball team. 2-0 this week. They played a really, really great game against UNI for our senior night. Lance Jones went off, so you got to feel really, really good about that. However, it's kind of the thing that scares me about my Duke basketball team when we talk about teams I'm rooting for. We played great at home, but then again, it was Sunday, right, where we played UIC, and only a 3-point win against number 11 ranked, as I'm seeing here in our bracket, UIC. It just still scares me, man. It just scares me. So they finished the season 22-9, which is a great finish. We're the 3 seed in the bracket. We're going to do a breakdown on that in just a little bit. But we're going to be playing the winner of Missouri State and UIC. Honestly, I could see that game going either way. More than likely, Missouri State's going to win, but it's going to be tough for us the rest of the way. There's no better way of putting it.
And something I just want to point out: UIC only lost by 5 combined points to us both times.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're gonna look at that and get a fire right underneath them and just say, "Hey, we were close against this SIU team both times. There's no reason why we couldn't do it in a big tournament like that." So I'd almost rather play Missouri State in this instance because we handed them a pretty decent loss both times.
No,
so
yeah.
I mean,
we match up well against Missouri State
Right.
this year.
so I'm just a little worried about that heading into our first game, whatever. But I think we should be able to handle L to whatever team we end up facing, whether it's UIC or Missouri State. So.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's not too much we can say. The season's basically at its end of the regular season. Heading into the tournament, I think if we're going to have a deep run, and we've repeated this seems like every week all year, and at one point this was prominent in every single game when we were winning a lot, who's going to be that third guy? Who's that going to be? We saw Foster Wonders had a fantastic game on Sunday coming in. He maybe not just him, someone else is going to need to fill that role coming off the bench, having that big game because it's just shown that Lance and Marcus at times can be the only guys who generate that offense, especially Marcus and Lance. I mean, when he's off, the whole team is off.
That's
I
right.
mean, we're really, really struggling to score. Marcus can only handle so much of the load, and as great of a scorer that he is, someone else is just gonna have to do it. I don't know who it's gonna be. I know who it should be. It should be a guy like either Xavier Johnson or Clarence Rupert, a guy that has a ton of experience playing in these moments, in these conference tournaments. Starting, obviously, Clarence Rupert was in the Elite Eight last year, so
That's right.
he's got a lot of experience there. I want it to be one of those two guys, and it's going to have to be if we're going to make a deep run.
Mm-hmm. Let's get away from basketball. Start talking once again about softball. You know, the women's athletics really killed it. Went 4-0 with the Coach B Classic. Now they're sitting at 10-2. Tori Sholian was not lying to us when she talked about the hype surrounding this team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they really have just done an awesome job. Joey, tell me about what you've seen from them.
And I just want to know, I did not jinx Tori. She did not have an error this week.
Hey, buddy,
So
there's a long season ahead.
I know.
Really gotta
At
watch
least-
it.
at least I can say it didn't happen in the first game afterwards.
That's
but
good. That's
another 4-0 week for them. They had that to start the season, and then I think went 2-2 in the next tournament. So 4-0 Coach B Classic. They seem to always do well at the Coach B Classic here the last couple years at least. But I don't want to overreact, but this team almost looks better than last year's. I think that's probably a hot take, but they've been able to replace Jenny Jansen, at least offensive production, like through multiple different players. Jackie Liz,
Very good.
I need to think of who I'm saying.
Yeah, just restart it.
They've been able to replace Jenny Jansen's offensive production so well through all top, bottom of the lineup all around.
Mm-hmm.
Aubrey Dupron, she's amazing to start off with. Her hit streak stopped at 11. Just in the last game of that tournament, she didn't get a hit, but even still, she got like a run, and I think she ended up with a walk. But
Yeah.
I mean, our pitching is carrying. The offense is just elite right now, and I know it's so early, and I know it's right before conference, but everything's going good for this team, and that's what they needed to do. So that's what I want to see from them. But yeah, I'm trying not to overreact right before conference, but this team is riding high right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. And the question heading into the softball season, a lot of new players coming in. We had some of the same questions about softball as we did women's basketball. Is how are they going to keep that winning culture around? In basketball, we saw some growing pains, but toward the end of the season, they're picking it up. Well, softball hasn't skipped a beat. I mean, they started this season off super hot. Saluki Invitational coming up this weekend, another home tournament, which is it's crazy. I don't know how many teams have back-to-back home tournaments, but we get the luxury of that here. Some big schools coming in. I cannot wait to watch this team continue to progress. And because think about it this way, they're hot now, but we've still got a full season to develop. So they're going to get better and better. They may not go 10-2 every single 12-game stretch, but they're going to continue to get better and better. The quality of play is going to continue to skyrocket. This team is awesome to watch.
Good. Yeah, I think that, you guys pointed out a lot of really, really great stuff, and I think that, with how we're looking, there's no reason. I mean, you said here, you're really trying not to overreact, but this team does look really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's looked really, really good for the third year in a row now, and hopefully we can get back to that Missouri Valley Conference Championship that we got a couple of years ago. Next, it's time to talk about baseball. This is the the yin and the yang with the softball and baseball team.
Yeah.
Complete opposites in terms of not only their performance in these past couple weeks, but expectations before the year. We thought the baseball team was going to skyrocket. Matthew Steidel was getting talked about a lot. So was Kay Barag. They've both been playing all right. I'm not ready to say anything there, but we went 1-4 in the last week. We currently sit at 3-6, and we got a 3-game home weekend series versus Ohio. And we got the doors blown off of us. This would have been yesterday for us when we were recording this with the St. Louis game. Pretty disappointing. What have you guys thought to see this team?
Yeah, I mean, almost the same way with baseball that I said with softball. I'm trying not to overreact, but I know the level of competition is going to skyrocket as well once we head into conference play. And if we can't really we can't really handle the teams that we've been playing right now, that's really just weird that this is just happening. I just want to say it's rust in a way, but specifically with the starting pitchers this week, Combs, Bonzagni, Dermody, and Chapman, they each gave up 3+ runs in their starts this week, and they didn't really last very long. So, I mean, I don't really know what to say other than just get better. Get your command.
Dang,
Right.
It's easy. Come on.
I mean,
it's easy.
it's just
No, we get what you're saying.
there were way higher expectations for this team. Obviously, they were the number one preseason favorite for
Yes.
the conference. So, I mean, you can't have a performance like that against teams like Townsend, teams like St. Louis, teams like
Jacksonville State.
who we played. Yeah.
It's just giving me flashbacks to last year when we go on this 3-game winning streak against some quality team who we played. I don't want to throw out any names here.
Beat U
We
of
didn't
I in
actually
a
beat-
series.
Okay, there we
2
go.
out of 3, yeah.
Beat U of I in a series, right? And then we played Austin P. Thank you. I always forget how to pronounce it. We played Austin P, and then we'd lose 9-6, and I'd be like, wait, what happened? We beat
Right, yeah.
U of I. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Jordan, what have been your thoughts?
Yeah, baseball is one of those sports, and it's with every sport really, but since there's games every single day, the highs and lows are going to be a lot more frequent.
True.
This is the first time in the Lance Rhodes era, in his 4th season now, 3rd full season because the first one got shut down by COVID, where they're experiencing some sort of institutional, systematic adversity. And obviously the expectations are high, but if you really look at this roster, this is the first time that they've had more than half the guys, go from last year's team. Steidel in particular has struggled a lot to start. I don't even want to know what his ERA is right now, but he's got it in him to get it back. He was supposed to be our main reliever, our best closer, and then I've mentioned this in the last couple of weeks. Starting pitching has to get better. It really does have to get better. Just get better, as Joey said.
Just get better.
And offensively, I've watched a lot of these games. It doesn't seem like they're not hitting the ball hard. In Sunday's game against Jacksonville State, the rubber match, if we win that game and win the series, I think it was the 6th or 7th inning, 2 times in a row we had runners thrown out at home. And it's just, that's not really on the offense. There was a single to left and a really hard line drive to center. It's not that they're not hitting the ball hard, it's just not finding the holes. Eventually it will. I'm honestly not concerned about the offense despite its struggles to start the year, but it's all going to start with the starting pitching, making sure your team's not down behind early. They were yesterday against St. Louis. This weekend against Ohio. Again, Kentucky's coming here next weekend.
Yeah.
And, they're not the best SEC program, but they're still an SEC program that we get the luxury of hosting this year. But this weekend against Ohio is going to be huge for this team, getting some momentum into next week. I think we go to SIUE next Tuesday before the Kentucky series.
Yeah.
So, this weekend is going to be huge. And like I've said, it all starts with the pitching.
Something else I just want to put out there. I'd feel bad if we didn't end up talking about it, but
Okay.
Noah Cook's pinch hit home run against
Yeah.
Austin P. I feel like our luck this year just so far hasn't been the greatest either. And
Right.
him missing home plate, and that ends up basically losing us the game. I don't want to say basically losing us the game. I've never been that
Don't
guy.
allow
but
14 runs.
I mean, just
It's awesome.
touch home plate.
Yeah.
And I actually didn't see the film clip, whatever ended up actually happening. I don't know if it was a bad call by the ump, but I mean, just touch home plate and it's a tie game.
Mhm.
We could have won that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't really know what in the world is happening with this team right now, but
Yeah. It's disheartening, but
Yeah.
with a team as talented as this, I mean, while we were just talking about basketball, right? Drake was projected to win our conference before basketball this year. I'd probably say they're the most talented team in the Missouri
Yeah.
Valley. That's why they were projected that way. And they had a pretty rough start, if we can all
Yeah, they
remember.
did.
I mean, we blew the doors off of them the first game
Mm-hmm.
we played them. However, now they're second in the conference, so you never know. Teams have slow starts, but it's just a little disheartening to say the least.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for Dogs of the Vet. No Salukis Space this week, but we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into telling you guys about the NBA and college basketball. Alrighty, folks. So before we break down some really interesting stuff that both Jordan and Joey have brought to the table for us, don't worry, I'm still gonna give you some great picks. The NBA, I'm on a hot streak right now. We're 12-5, shooting 71% right now. We went 3-1 last week. Let's give you some new ones. Suns at Bulls. Figured I should mention this one because this will be Kevin Durant's second game back, not his first, like tonight is. This will be on Friday after this releases. Kevin Durant will probably go off against the Bulls. Let's just be frank here. The Bulls are terrible this year. Don't be a Bulls fan, guys. It's not worth it. I mean, you should be a Bulls fan. We're both Bulls fans, but we're telling you.
You are?
Yes.
I didn't. Okay, you're probably not as diehard as I am.
Okay.
You
Well,
had
first of
you had a
all,
Bulls cap one time for a pod.
yeah.
Yeah,
First of
you
all,
were
hold on,
Bulls. Yeah.
everybody. Let's clear this up on the pod right now.
I didn't know you don't talk about it.
Jay Cruz has not beat me in Bulls fandom. First of all, second of
Are you
all,
sure
like,
about that?
how many Bulls games you been to, buddy?
One.
I've been to 10. Thank you, Granddad. Nevertheless,
Well, yeah. Well, I didn't have anyone in my family.
I
that
shout
was a
out
Bulls
I
fan,
shout out the
so
Bulls.
Sorry.
Bulls are where it's at.
Sorry, not everybody's granddad.
I will say
Played for Coach K.
that's true. Now,
Right, yeah, I didn't get that luxury.
nevertheless, the reason I've probably fallen off the little Bulls fandom and maybe don't talk about them as much is because one, I hated Garpax for years.
Right. Yeah.
We had to get rid of him, and we were just we've gone right back to what we were. We're gonna break down the whole
No,
thing.
this is not.
Nevertheless,
This is not Bulls.
this is
Minute.
not the Bulls podcast. Sorry, folks. Nevertheless, Suns are gonna win. I mean, they're gonna smoke.
Probably.
They're gonna smoke our team, not just Jay Cruz's team. I can't believe he did that. That's the kind of the wild part.
You know, again, you've only mentioned it maybe once or twice.
That's so-
And it's never with any sort of like emphasis. It's always
No,
just
dude.
like I'm
No.
a Bulls fan. I'm
What do you know about Kirk Heinrich, dude?
I know a lot about Garfield. You kidding me? Goggles.
What do you know about Mike Dunleavy Jr.
Oh
for
my
those
gosh,
years he
dude.
came off the bench?
He was our starter.
What do you about
in
Nazir
basketball.
Muhammad?
Nazir Muhammad. He shoved LeBron.
All right,
I love that.
He knows his
I
stuff.
watched that game. I
Yeah,
remember.
I guess
was
you.
like
I
11
guess
years
you
old.
are a Bulls fan. I
Don't
guess you
doubt
check
Jay
out.
Cruz, man.
I guess not. Okay, Sunday's game. Hate to do it again. I feel like I do this a lot, where I just pick the same
Pick a certain
team twice in a
You
weekend.
did it with the Nuggets.
I did it with the
at beginning
Thunder
of
last
year,
week.
And now you're doing it with Phoenix Suns.
And I'm doing it again. Suns at Mavs. But this one's more fun because KD is going to be playing Kyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Two things are going to happen. One, we could see a Russell Westbrook-esque. Like, remember when Kevin Durant left and then Russell Westbrook and him started chirping their first game back?
Yes.
Maybe we get a little bit of that. That'd be good for some TV.
They didn't really like hate each other though, did they?
Yeah, I know, but like you have to think Kevin Durant has to be somewhat mad, right? Listen,
He wanted out of there just. As
all
much
I'm
as
saying
Kyrie
is second option is they're going to be all buddy-buddy, and it's most likely going to be a second
did.
option.
Probably.
But I like to be an optimist. I want them to hate each other. In that game, I'm going to go Suns. Mavs have not looked good since the Kyrie
No, they
acquisition. I guess they're really missing Dorian Finney-Smith right now. I guess that's
Phew.
really
Yeah, what a huge loss.
giant loss. And then finally, this one's going to be great. I hope this might be a TNT or ESPN game. It should be at least. Knicks at Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
All the games this year between the two have been great. I mean, there's no better way of putting it. Tom Thibodeau's got the Knicks rolling again. I can't make up my mind on Tom Thibodeau. Because Bulls guy,
Love him.
Bull, I loved him when he was coach of the Bulls.
Wrongly fired.
But like in the modern day NBA, well, here's the thing: he could have been fired, but Fred Hoiberg, hated Fred Hoiberg. We're getting way
He
too
wasn't
into
even.
Bulls stuff.
He was a good, not great coach at Iowa State. Even.
Yeah,
Hate is
exactly.
a very strong word.
Oh, Fred, I know you're listening. I hate you. You were a terrible coach.
See, okay, I won't go that far.
Jimmy
Sheesh.
Butler, you wasted Jimmy Butler.
He did.
He was such a little.
Gosh, stop talking. I'm gonna start getting emotional.
Anyways,
Thinking
we're
about
gonna
Jimmy
get to-
crying on the
Jimmy
pod.
Butler and Derrick Rose. I'm gonna get emotional.
Anyways, for this week's basketball segment, I have not been doing great, by the way. I went 1-2 last week, and I'm just going to be frank with the audience right now. We did not perform nearly as well, but I think it's a good idea. Let's do the Missouri Valley Conference bracket. Let's see who we think is going to win. So let's start at the top right here.
Mhm.
Julian, if you can edit it in, maybe right here. I don't know where. I'm probably pointing towards the very wrong place, but nevertheless, number 9 Illinois State and number 8 UNI. I think we can agree here. I'm going to go UNI. I think UNI is just a better
I
team.
think so.
Illinois State, I like their length and the way they played us the last game. that they played us. They played us really well. But
Did
I'm
you
gonna
not
go-
have some sort of injury? Do they have?
They could.
Is AJ Green?
Oh, he's gone.
Was he gone after that last
Yeah,
year? Okay,
yeah.
well that's the only name I remember. So
Yes. They have some point guard that I remember.
I might-
like
I
Ball
might-
is Life posted him. I don't remember his
yeah.
name.
I might just be contrarian and go Illinois State here, but
Okay,
that's
just
with
go-
that's with no confidence or research. So
Okay. 5, Indiana State versus number 12 Evansville. Indiana State, right?
Right.
Indiana
Indy
State. Number 10 Valpo versus number 7 Murray State. I'm gonna go Murray State.
Murray State.
They're
Murray State.
tough. I like them.
Mhm.
Thank God they did not get the 6th seed.
Oh my gosh.
Because I wouldn't want to play them. I mean, it would be really fun.
It'd be electric.
It'd be electric there. but-
Terrific recap by Cole Daly.
That's
We'll
right.
Be there.
That's right. But yeah, I think we really lucked out with our side of the bracket. Number 11 UIC versus number 6 Missouri State. I feel confident against both these teams, even though we didn't play very well against UIC. And I agree with you. I'd rather play Missouri State than UIC. I think Missouri State's the better team, and I think they'll win. So
Yeah.
we agree on all
Right.
that.
Totally.
I'd agree,
Okay.
but UIC, like we were talking about, would be the team I'm a little bit more scared to play
Yeah.
from an SIU standpoint. I don't know. I don't remember or what the result of Missouri State versus UIC was earlier
Yeah.
this year. But if UIC does win, and I think they can, they've got the athletes to do it.
I know.
Then yeah, that would set up a pretty cool 3-6 matchup.
That'd be wild if the UIC made it to the Final Four. Shout out Evan Glensinski, Josh Hunt, cool bros from UIC that I know. But he's Evan Glensinski, my hometown boy.
We're gonna
man.
shout out everyone. From
I
our
gotta
hometown
shout
that's
out-
going
I like to
a
shout
valley
out.
school.
I like to
can
shout
shout
out.
like 10 people right now.
Dude,
We're not
I'm just
going
saying. Get a load of this guy today.
We can't give him out for free with our pod.
Right.
Guys, this
Yeah.
is my boy from back home. This is my
I have
day
a lot
one.
of boys at other schools too.
Okay,
I'm not gonna say who they are.
Dude, he's inviting me to
Wait,
St. Patty's
You
Day.
might as well
Gotta
just shout out Larry Bird at Indiana
go.
State.
Hey,
or
shout
something.
out
Right,
Larry.
yeah.
I know you're listening.
Next round.
UNI number 1 Bradley versus number 8 UNI.
Bradley.
I feel confident in Bradley's ability, but Bradley also is like prime upset. I think.
Yes, I agree.
Like they were not far out from being the 4 seed in this
No.
tournament. Like it was very top heavy.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go Bradley though.
Yep.
You agree?
I totally agree.
Okay. Evans or Belmont and Indiana State. It's a tough one because I love Indiana State.
I do too.
I think they're good,
I think
and I'm gonna go Indiana State.
Ben Shepard's a really, really good player though. He's a baller.
That's true. I also like Belmont's team too.
How close
I
was
like
Indiana
Belmont's
State to the 4 seed? Like I want to know the record.
Pretty close. I guess I don't know the record. Let's see here.
They were.
I don't know
I
off the top
think
of
they
my
were
head.
11-7 in conference, and Belmont was 12-6. So there's not.
That's
so
what I was gonna
big,
say.
so I
It's
don't think
definitely very close.
I don't think, or 14-6 maybe. I'm not sure, but or they were 13-7. I think they were 14-6.
So what side you guys going with? I mean, you going with Belmont
That's
or you
tough.
going with Indiana
This
State?
is really tough.
I think I'd say Belmont, to be honest.
Okay,
I'm gonna go Indy State.
I like it. Next we have Murray State and
So
Drake.
who are you picking?
I said Indiana
Oh,
State.
sorry,
from
I don't
the get-go.
remember. Okay.
And then
all
he pulled away the high five.
Indiana
Dude,
State.
Jake, guys,
All right.
don't be surprised if Jay Cruz is not on the next episode. We might have to talk to him a little bit.
Here, I'll take the 5. Okay. Why did you have to make
You
it
went like
that?
this, guys.
But first
Guys,
you held
Jay
it down
Cruz-
here, and I was gonna high
Jay
five you
Cruz
down there.
might not be back, folks.
That's
Just be
fine.
ready.
This is
fine.
a wild podcast.
This is.
Right
We're going off the rails. But
Indy
who cares?
State. Indy State.
Number 2 Drake versus number 7 Murray State. I'm gonna take Drake.
now. Drake, for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game, but I'm gonna go Drake.
Yeah, I agree. And then I'm gonna take SIU over Murray State or Missouri State. I feel confident in our
Yep.
ability. So now we have, at least on my bracket, number 1 Bradley versus number 5 Indiana State.
I don't know why I could see Indiana State.
I like
winning
Indiana
that game.
State. I'm taking
I can
Indiana
see them
State.
winning that game.
This is a
legitimately.
conference where
I'm gonna do
something's
it too.
gonna go wrong.
I'm gonna do it too. They've got a lot of scorers.
Do you think Belmont would beat Bradley?
I think Belmont would beat Bradley, yeah.
Okay, so we're still sitting on
Indiana
the same
State's the
thing.
kind of team that they could either lose
Oh,
immediately.
yeah.
Like I could see Evansville. Like if you told me Evansville beat them, I honestly wouldn't be that surprised
Mm-hmm.
because they're a all or nothing style of play team. They take very questionable shots, but they get them to go in a lot. So they're the type of team that can either win the whole thing or lose the first
I
round.
was surprised when you told me that Bradley got the number 1 seed. 'Cause
I
I
know.
just assumed
Yeah.
that Drake was getting it.
Indy
but,
State.
like,
That's what I thought.
Indy
Okay.
State.
Yeah, let's keep on talking smack on Bradley, dude. Peoria,
Hey, come
L
on.
Peoria. I'm from Peoria, so
Yeah,
I know.
why are you
We
doing
got a shout out to 309, but still.
Yeah.
Drake, number 2 Drake, number 3 Southern Illinois. To me, this is where our road ends. I mean, it's Drake.
Yeah.
I
Dogs,
just-
no.
I you know.
Let's
I
go
really
Dogs.
want to pick SIU, but I just don't think they're going to pull it
Yeah.
off.
Drake
I'm
seemed-
really happy with how we got UIC
Yeah.
and Missouri State. I'm feeling confident, but
Mhm.
like I said, like if we played, say Indiana State fell to 6, or Murray State rose up to 6,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm sweating.
I'm sweating.
No, I'm not. But okay, so we got Drake in Indiana State / Belmont in our chip. Who do you think wins? I think it just goes to Drake.
Yeah, I think Drake.
But I'm gonna be fun
Battle
and
of the Baby
pick
Blues.
Indiana State to win.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
As the 5 seed in the
Yeah.
bracket?
I wouldn't
Yeah.
hate that. I
Then
wouldn't
we'll
hate that.
have who cares? Why not?
Drake's,
seed
Drake's
wins.
the answer, but it'd be cool if
Indiana State
did it,
makes the tournament as like a 14 seed.
Now, Bradley versus Drake, alternate universe. I'd probably still pick Drake.
Yeah, I think I gotta go Drake there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Consensus Drake.
Okay.
No, we've beaten Drake though, so it's not
Well, yeah,
like
no, it's not
completely
out
out
of the
of the
picture.
question that.
Okay, so let's
If honestly, if we beat Drake, in the scenario that you and I laid out, I had picked the dogs to win the whole thing. If we beat Drake, because we've already beaten Indiana State.
that's what I was just
who
gonna
we'd
say.
play.
Let's throw out the hypothetical.
Bradley's the team that we haven't beaten yet this year, though. So
Yeah.
that's where I would probably, be a little. For some reason, like we just crapped on Bradley a lot, but they're the only team that we didn't beat this
Yes,
year.
yeah.
So
How close was the game when we played them on the road? Because we only lost by 2
it
here.
was like a 10-point loss.
Yeah,
I
it, was,
think.
it wasn't a great loss, but it was a close one when we were here.
I mean, we should have won that game.
But then again, it's like with that. Well, it's true. And was that the game Lance laid an egg?
Yeah,
Pretty
he
sure.
went 0 for 6 from the field.
So it's like,
Yeah.
which that more than likely that doesn't happen again.
No,
but
no.
I don't know.
Grace.
It's gonna be fun.
No, that's
I'll be
that's
tuning
great.
in
Very fun.
every single game.
Yeah.
But we're gonna go with let's just go Drake across the
I
board.
do just want to say Friday's baseball game against Ohio is already canceled due to weather, so I was supposed to work that game, so now I'm gonna be available to
Ooh.
watch it. Yeah,
This guy's
the
got-
whole
thing.
the entire school should have no reason not to watch that game in full on Friday night. Like I don't like when we have to wait all day to watch SIU play.
Yeah.
Like they're the last game, probably gonna start around 9:00, honestly, because
It
games
really will.
typically run slightly long.
I'll be
I'll be
at
up.
The, I'll be at the
make-
stadium at 9
make,
o'clock.
Make no mistake. Yeah,
Getting ready.
I can't go.
I was getting
Are you
loser.
going to St. Louis?
I'll be there Saturday if they win. Friday, no.
Lucky.
For those curious, I'm going to cover the game for the Daily Egyptian, obviously what we work for. Joey's going to work for Channel 3.
I work for Channel 3. I will be there Saturday, assuming they win.
I was told by someone.
So if you're going, come say hi. What are you doing?
I was told by someone higher than us in ranking that I was actually supposed to go, but I had to work for. They couldn't get. I don't know why they couldn't get me on the list for some reason.
Oh yeah, no.
they couldn't get me credentialed.
You
for
were
whatever
definitely
reason.
supposed to go.
That's what she told me. I don't say who, but that's what she told me.
All right.
And
Whatever.
but I
Get
was-
to your
but
conference
I
tournament
have to be
predictions.
here because of baseball anyway. Because
Get to your. Yeah,
I care
exactly.
about the non-big sports.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so keeping with the college basketball, it's March. It's March.
Yeah, it's March 1st.
It's the best month of the year.
What are we?
One of
What else are we
March
gonna talk about?
1st.
Folks?
Yeah, it's March. Today we're filming on March 1st. This will come out on March 3rd, right? Yeah.
Shout out
March 3rd,
Marcus
Friday.
Daly. It's his birthday on March 3rd.
All
Go
right.
ahead. It's my younger brother.
So conference tournaments in some of the smaller conferences, smaller than even the Missouri Valley, are starting this week. So I'm going to go rapid fire through each tournament that's ending before the release of the next podcast.
Go.
And give you quick winners. Here we go. Ohio Valley. I'm picking Tennessee Tech. Why? Because my girlfriend was at the Tennessee Tech Eastern Illinois game last weekend, and Tennessee Tech won that game. That's the only reason.
Nice.
In the Big South, I'm going Longwood. In the Missouri Valley, I'm going, if not SIU, then Drake. We kind of already talked about that.
Yes.
But I'm picking the dogs, of course.
No, that's a good
The
idea.
Atlantic Sun Conference, I'm going Liberty because all the other schools in there, I don't even know anything about them. Liberty is good in football as well.
Yes, they
They
are.
produced Malik Willis, who's not good.
Yeah, I was about
Southern-
to say. What a great example.
The Southern Conference, UNC Greensboro, because the UNC Dash teams, Dash City, are always pretty good.
That's true.
The Sun Belt, James Madison.
Why?
'Cause they were also good in football this year. The Colonial, this is an interesting team, actually. Charleston. Now, Charleston was ranked for a long time. They started off the
Yeah.
season 20-0 or something.
Yeah,
or
Charleston actually.
they
had a
have
great
kind
year
of
too.
fizzled off lately, and I bet people are going to be down on them. I can almost guarantee you they got to a point in the season where they were just kind of sleepwalking, and they're kind of just waiting for this conference tournament. So that's why I like Charleston. Horizon League, Cleveland State. I don't know why, but I just have an affinity for Cleveland State. The Vikings, shout out. The only Vikings I like.
Fun fact: Cleveland State was the first school to offer Anthony Davis before he grew 8 inches.
Really?
Before he grew 8 inches to be 6'11" and then become the #1 recruit in the
That
country.
is an interesting. That's an interesting.
How do you know this?
Yeah, I just know stuff.
That's crazy.
Anyways,
Big
Shout out
brain.
Cleveland
guys,
State.
this is why I'm the host of the
Big
podcast.
brain Daily.
And if you
So-
think I'm just picking all 1 seeds, Cleveland State is the 3 seed. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of 2 and 4 seeds in here too.
well, I was wondering if you were throwing out like if Tennessee State was or Tennessee
No,
Tech
I think
was
Tennessee Tech's like the 4 seed or
the...
something.
Okay, well,
So,
that's whatever.
yeah.
That's fine.
Northeast Conference. Have either of you heard of the Northeast?
Not even once.
I hadn't really either. Merrimack is who I'm picking. They currently have a losing record, but they are the 1 seed.
Wait, what? Really?
Yes, they're
What
15
seed
and
is it?
16 right now. But they're still the 1 seed in their conference. I think they probably played a tough non-conference schedule against some big teams, but then in their conference, they're killing it.
Damn, they must have played like
I do have a fact about them. I didn't write it
80
down.
tough teams.
They are the number 1 team in the country at creating turnovers in all of college basketball.
That's sneaky.
Yeah.
What an insane
Sneaky.
stat. Wow.
Sneaky, like 2 versus 15. Maybe
Yeah.
Merrimack upsets.
Now this next one, I don't know where they're going to be seeded. Maybe 14 or 13 seed. They are a prime candidate to upset some people, like they did a couple years
Are
ago.
you talking about
The Oral Roberts.
we need to talk about this
What's their
because
name?
Oral
Are they
Roberts-
Golden Eagles?
something like that? Hold on.
They have big prayer hands on their campus. You know that big statue or whatever.
Yeah.
So they have God's face.
Golden Eagles. That's
They're
correct.
also 18-0 in conference. They are murdering teams. this
Oral
year.
Roberts is that team. Pick. I don't care.
Yes.
I don't care if they get somehow seeded as a 16 seed. Pick
They're
them.
not going to though.
Pick them.
Yeah.
All right.
They
Pick
still-
them over the number 1.
Max Asmus
Max
is
Asmus.
still at Oral Roberts.
Yep.
Why is he not transferred and or gone to play even overseas somewhere? I have no idea. He's still at Oral Roberts. He shoots from half court. Oral Roberts. West Coast Conference now. This is kind of a big deal here. I've been preaching St. Mary's all year. It's the Gales. It's the Gales. Give me St. Mary's over Gonzaga or any other team that they play.
Mm-hmm.
Southland, Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Shout out to my current boss at the athletic department, Tim McCowan, who used to be at Texas A&M CC. Also a kid from my town, Terrion Murdix. I don't know if he plays there anymore. He's from
This
one
guy's just
of my
throwing
rival
out
schools.
shout-outs.
Wow.
He's on Texas A&M CC. Patriot League, Navy. The midshipmen got to respect the troops. Big Sky, finally Eastern Washington. The only thing I had for that was Vernon Adams, former Oregon quarterback, played there. Wasn't even a fan. I just know that. And then they had some kid a few years ago. I'm pretty sure Eastern Washington won a tournament game over somebody 5 or
did.
6 years ago.
Well,
they had
because
this kid that scored 23 points a game. I remember.
Well, 2 years ago they had those twins that now play at Oklahoma. I can't remember their names.
Groves.
Yes, the Groves.
Really?
Yeah, they went to Eastern
Interesting.
Washington. They upset some team either a year ago or 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Those guys are
And they
buckets.
also have a red football field, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
There we go.
I love it.
And I'll come back with it next year.
I think if you guys are already looking for teams to kind of keep your eye out in March, obviously some of these teams could just lose.
Yeah.
But at least my favorites from this list, I absolutely love Oral Roberts' team. I do think that Merrimack, that what you just told me, where they
Yes.
create a lot of turnovers, that's something really, really sneaky.
They can
And
muck it
then
up.
whoever comes out of Missouri Valley is really, honestly, we have about
Oh,
5 good teams that.
Mhm.
In fact, SIU, the main reason that I'm so worried about SIU is a lot of these teams in the Missouri Valley have size that can compete with a random, I don't know, Michigan,
Yeah.
just randomly 5-12 matchup, 6-11 matchup.
Mhm.
Great stuff, Jake
Yeah,
Cruz.
That's fun.
Except
I
for
like
your
those
shout outs, I don't know, those were way out of place, but
Oh, wow,
nevertheless.
yeah.
Well, I have to give people some sort of irrational reason on some of these.
Mm-hmm.
Not all these were just random. I have dumb reasons for some of them.
Of course,
So
of course.
You have to get those out.
Of course. Alrighty. A lot of great picks, Jake Cruz. However, take us through your 5 storylines that we really need to be sure of before we head into a lot of these bigger conference tournaments.
Yeah, these are bigger conference tournaments. We'll address a couple of these next week as well. The first one I had is which of these 2 SEC teams that started slow has a chance to make a run in the NCAA tournament. And the 2 I put down are Arkansas and Kentucky. Both teams are fully healthy now. Now, granted, Arkansas still dealing with some growing pains having Nick Smith back in the lineup,
But he's been playing great.
but he has been playing well. Kentucky, like I said, full strength. Oscar Tshiebwe, National Player of the Year. They've got, I would say they have that experience. They really don't because they
They
lost
don't.
to St. Peter's. But
I don't.
Cole, what do you, or Joey, you can answer this too. Which of those 2 teams do you think has a better chance to make a run in March?
Arkansas. I think it's downright Arkansas. I know Joey agrees with me. He's going to.
I mean, the big team that I know is Kentucky, so
Right.
I'm just going to say
He
Kentucky.
doesn't,
but-
Guys, you don't know ball like that.
but Cole Daly over here.
To be fair,
Yeah.
the last time Kentucky was they were an 8 seed in 2013 or 14. They made the national championship game when they had Julius Randle, Alex Poitras, James Young, just throwing out some random names here.
Yeah,
Marcus Teague, I think, was also on that team.
he was.
Former Chicago Bull for a year.
Yeah, he was there for a year. 30th pick in the draft. See, we know our stuff. Maybe
Yeah,
29th,
but
but nevertheless.
I agree with you in Arkansas, though. They've just got dudes. They've got NBA
Arkansas
players
has
on
a
that
lot
team.
of Anthony Black.
Yes.
I just see. I think we talked before the college basketball season even started, and when I told you who I thought would win the national title before the year, you were like,
Arkansas.
"What?" But I do believe in Arkansas.
Yeah.
I like their coach Musselman, and I hated their teams in the past couple of years, mainly because Duke just had to, for whatever reason, face them in a lot of
Yes.
the things, and I was like, God, they're just a scary team. I
Yeah,
don't
they
want to
are.
face them. But no, it's Arkansas. It's Arkansas without a doubt, in my opinion. Kentucky always chokes. John Calipari. No, I mean, if anybody is still a firm believer in John Calipari, you need to watch more college basketball.
Right.
Musselman's the guy. Nick Smith is the guy. He's been playing really well.
Yeah.
Anthony Black. I love all their versatile other freshman players.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if both of these teams made the deep run.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, who's the best team in the ACC?
Duke.
This is all right. Try to be unbiased.
I know it's not actually Duke.
Miami just blew a huge lead to Florida State. They were the kind of consensus favorite in the ACC up until that loss.
Was it that buzzer beater?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was the
Florida
buzzer
State.
beater.
Yeah,
Yes.
really.
I
That
think
was actually
currently,
well.
currently the Pitt Panthers are at the top of the ACC,
They
which is
are.
just nuts. Nobody could have seen that coming in.
Coached by Duke,
Jeff
former
Capel.
former Duke
Yep,
assistant
yep.
coach Jeff Capel.
I don't really have a ton to say on this. I was just more or less asking or more or less just saying that it's a question we're going to have to answer here before conference tournament championship week next week. Number 3, the Big 12, obviously still the best conference in college basketball. However, it is weakening itself as day by day. I mean, some team, last week we were talking about how maybe 9 teams in the conference can make the tournament. I don't see that happening anymore. Oklahoma State's gone on a huge cold streak. They were kind of that 8th or 9th team that we were sure about.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's probably not going to make it unless they
West Virginia's been playing pretty bad.
West
too.
Virginia's playing a lot worse too. I think there's been a clear Tier 1 and Tier 2 set in the Big 12. I don't think it's much of a hodgepodge anymore. I think TCU, Texas, Kansas, and
Kansas State, Iowa State.
I think
They still got a lot
but
of
I think those
strong
first
teams.
4 that I said, Kansas State, TCU, and Texas, are the clear top 4 teams
Yes,
in the Big 12
I
right
agree.
now. That being said, like I said, any team could win that conference tournament, but I do think that those 4 have clearly separated themselves to this point.
I think it's a good point. I agree.
The 4th one, and did we talk about this last week?
I'm not sure if we did because I don't know if there was.
I don't know if it
noise
was out.
about it.
I don't know if it was out by the time we did.
It's been about 10 days, but
But maybe probably should have led with this, honestly. But what do you make of the whole? I'm sure you probably heard about this too. The Brandon Miller situation at Alabama. What do you guys think? How do you think that'll affect them coming toward the end of the season and in the conference tournament and then ultimately in March Madness? Because we did see they have struggled since that whole thing happened. They've won both games. Miller has played fantastic.
He
but
really
the team
did.
has struggled.
South
They
Carolina game
needed
was-
overtime to beat South Carolina, only beat Arkansas by 3 at home, a team that's still trying to figure itself out despite having a lot of talent. What do you make of all that?
See, tonight is actually a really interesting game, and obviously by the time this pod gets released, whatever, but they'll be playing Auburn, which is a rivalry game.
Yeah.
Auburn has definitely fallen off this year, but I think this is really kind of a staple, especially because, I mean, I'm sure you saw the pregame
Yes,
celebration
the
where he does.
down. Yeah, terrible.
I can't speak too much on it because obviously there's been no real charges placed. I mean, there's a lot of rumors, I believe, right? I don't think there's actually any charges, right? Or
No.
Okay.
No.
Nevertheless, as a player, I love Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
He's actually one of those players that I was a little bit wrong about coming out of high school, where I was like, how many guys like this do we see? But then the more and more I've watched Alabama basketball, he's a truly special freshman.
Yeah, he is.
6'10", can handle. Honestly, he's an underrated defender too. To me, he's my second rated prospect on the board. He overtook Scoot Henderson and Amen Thompson after that awesome game against South Carolina, where he looked. There's like a Paolo Banchero element to him, where the reason I love Paolo is because
Great comparison.
he plays like 5 years older than he actually is, and Brandon Miller does the same thing. So it sucks. I hope he didn't provide the gun. And for those of you who don't know, the rumor is that he provided the gun in which one of his teammates murdered somebody with.
Yes.
And it's shocking that Alabama is even top 3 in the AP poll despite this. Because I remember before the year I was like, Texas is going to be number 1 and they're going to be the best team in the country. Then obviously they got rid of their coach.
Right.
The fact that they can just have a player leave and still be this good, it's really impressive from the Alabama perspective, but it's definitely going to be a big highlight in the tournament, and we could either see him go off, like a lot of these really, really great players do in the tournament when they feel people are doubting them, or, I mean, it's going to be a big distraction. I wouldn't pick Alabama to win the tournament, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were throwing money on anything, that's a risky one. Just because of the distraction. Before that, I might have been they might have been my pick.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, really interesting situation. It'll be more than interesting to see how it pans out.
Absolutely. The fifth point I have on here, the fifth and final point, I just want to give a quick shout out to the Marquette Golden Eagles.
That's right.
Who were picked to finish 10th in the Big East this year. They're currently ranked number 6 in the country.
I've always loved Shaka Smart.
It's ridiculous. Shaka Smart, if he's at a big program, he stinks. But then he'll go to.
He wasn't even that bad at Texas.
He wasn't that bad, but compared to expectations,
yes,
there's a reason he's not coaching there anymore.
Yeah.
At VCU, obviously he was incredible.
Mm-hmm. Now
he's doing the same thing with Marquette. They basically had the same team this year that they did last year, but they're doing this weird thing now that with the transfer portal and just recruiting in general, you don't hear a lot about anymore. Player development. Tyler Kolek is their main point guard. He didn't do a whole lot last year, much of anything. Now he's their best player on the team. Absolutely fantastic story there. That is my fifth point. Bonus point, shout out to the Ohio State Buckeyes. They actually won a college basketball game in the month of February, just barely in the month of February, over the Illinois Fighting Illini. So shout out to all you scumbag Illinois fans. I don't like any of you. And I have had to deal with it my whole life. So now that the worst team in the Big Ten, my Ohio State Buckeyes beat them, it was pretty fun.
This is a mean podcast. You said you hated somebody earlier. You called Illinois fans scumbags.
Now we're getting the NFL portion though, so I'm sure
that's right.
You're gonna
Joey's taking the reins on this one, folks. He's got a lot of really good stuff on the draft.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
honestly, I want to bring up a lot of this stuff because I want to hear what you guys have to say. But I'll start out with Jordan as the Bears fan with the number 1 pick.
Good point.
Number 1 storyline I think with the draft this year, NFL draft. And I know we still got months to go. What in the world are the Bears going to do? I think they should trade back. I think it should probably be the Colts. Probably.
That seems to be the one that the consensus one.
Because they for sure need a quarterback. It'd probably be Bryce Young.
Yeah.
But I mean, you could definitely get another first round pick because I think they have 2.
No, they only have 1, but the Texans have 2.
The Texans would be another good option, but maybe you could get the Colts first round pick next year as well. I just think that's a really intriguing thing. What in the world they're going to do? I know there's a lot of smoke recently about them possibly just getting a QB and getting rid of. I was about to say Jordan Love.
Justin Fields.
Justin Fields.
Yeah.
I know
you guys should get rid of Jordan Love, by the way. This is a Jordan Love slander podcast.
According to Goody Kunst, he's ready to start next year.
That's what he thinks.
I think he's ready to start. I think we just need to move on with it. That's another topic for another day.
Totally is.
The Bears, I think they'll be in a really good situation to possibly go from 4th to 1st next year in the division, to be honest. I mean...
Really? Holy
with
smokes.
As much cap space and the
that.
draft possibilities that they could do, I mean, I don't really think it's...
There's a team north of them. Up in Michigan, baby.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions.
There's a team north of them, and it's not the Packers.
That's right.
We are not talking about the Lions.
Let's go Lions.
I actually agree with Cole on that. But, yeah, what I'm banking on, the guy I want in this draft, I'm not even considering any trading of Justin Fields. I don't think that's going to happen, and anyone who's saying we should do that should go bury their head in the hole.
Any person with a moral compass would think that.
Yes. I think the ideal scenario, and I think this is like the combine's coming up this weekend as well. Mm-hmm. I think we'll talk about that a little bit. What I'm hoping for, and what I think will happen, because this happens every single year in the NFL draft, somebody is going to fall in love with either Anthony Richardson or Will Levis.
Yeah.
So one team's at least going to do it. And they're going to want to trade up to either number 1 or number 2 or 3 to get him. So let's say, here's a mock example. Let's say we do trade with the Colts. We go back to 4. Colts get 1. We get, some future picks.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say the Colts take Bryce Young. The Texans are okay sitting at 2, and they get C.J. Stroud, another great quarterback.
Yep.
Let's say the Cardinals, who are probably not going to draft a quarterback, sitting there at 3, but some other team like the Panthers or the Falcons fall in love with Richardson or Anderson. They trade up to 3, then that leaves still the 2 best defensive players in the draft for us at 4, and Will Anderson is the guy that I am praying to God for, because that dude is just he's incredible. I mean, he's a beast.
Yeah.
He's a beast, and anyone denying that probably didn't watch any Alabama football this past year.
That's not true, but it's no big or anything.
Okay.
Well. We're a little different on our takes on future guys.
Like everything, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah. In terms of these prospects, everything.
But
you're high on CJ,
be,
I'm not.
But that would be the ideal scenario.
Yeah, no.
Now, the other thing that I don't know if it's going to happen, but if we could trade with the Texans and get the 2nd and the 12th pick in the first round and go like Will Anderson at 2, and if JSN is sitting there at number 12, get that wide receiver for Justin. I mean, that would be like.
Well, and they already have Ohio State
chemistry. I wonder if they traded with the Texans, got the 2 first-round picks, would they trade up from the 12 to maybe the 6 or 7 and try to get No, not at all. And try to get Jalen Carter, who that's the other story I want to bring up today.
Yeah, go ahead.
With him and his arrest this morning, I don't know how far he's gonna fall. I don't know the details about his whole arrest and everything, but I think the Bears could still get him without even needing to use the number 1 pick if they figure it out with all the trades and everything.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see who he ends up going to just because of all this whole situation. He'll still be in the top 15.
Oh, easily.
He'll probably still be in the top 5, honestly.
Yeah.
I mean, it just started March. The draft isn't until late April. There's so much time between now and then. It's probably going to blow over in the next few days, maybe even or so. I'm not concerned about his draft stock, and I wouldn't be. NFL teams have shown that.
Is it safe to say he probably won't be the number 1 pick anymore, though?
I don't think he was going to be anyway. Because I think the Bears are going to move out of it.
A lot of mock drafts had him at number 1.
No, for sure,
and just going straight to the Bears or even other teams.
Like if we were in a world where trades were illegal to trade draft picks, I think the Bears would definitely consider taking him number 1 because he's just he's a freak of a player.
Right.
So is Will Anderson. I mean, I want Anderson over him, but yeah.
Is there any universe that you see where the Bears don't end up trading back at all? None.
And just taking Jalen Carter or Will Anderson?
It would be real. There is like I said a little bit ago. There will be a team to fall in love with quarterback, whether it's Young, Stroud, Levis, Richardson, whatever. There's gonna be a team that's gonna want the number 1 pick. They're already hearing reports about it too. They're gonna trade out. I don't know who they're gonna trade with. I know that they're gonna trade out though. I'm almost 100% certain on that.
And that's what I believe they should do. That's what I believe they will do. However, I'm just seeing a lot of smoke about it lately, and I don't really know why that's the case. I just want to put that out there.
But that's all it is smoke.
You brought up Anthony Richardson a little bit ago.
Yeah.
He's the talk lately. His odds for number 1 pick even have skyrocketed for whatever reason. And I've seen just a little bit of him, and he does seem like a very talented guy, but simply seems like a very athletic dude.
Yes.
Very good pre-snap motions and everything, goes through his checkdowns and everything perfectly. It's just...
So as we talked about, we're very different on our takes on quarterbacks.
Yes.
Extremely. He likes C.J. Stroud. I'm not a big fan. He likes Will Anderson. I'm not a big fan. I love Anthony Richardson.
Right.
He does not.
You're part of the cult.
And I understand why people don't like Anthony Richardson. And I'm aware that I very well could be wrong. Because I have watched basketball more than anything my entire life. And what do you do when you watch basketball? You pick the 6'10" dude with a 7'3" wingspan who doesn't have a great shot rather than the Buddy Hield-like guy coming out of college who's already got a great shot. You pick the guy with more potential. Anthony Richardson blows even C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young out of the water in terms of potential, in terms of his size. I mean...
I hope you are the Atlanta Falcons. I hope you're the Falcons, you are the Panthers right now. I hope that one of those two teams has the same mindset that you do.
I'm sure they will, and I think that the Falcons or Panthers trade up to number 3 with the Cardinals.
You think it's gonna happen?
I think that's an even safer bet than the Bears trading back.
Really?
I'm really confident in the Cardinals trading back because they're gonna think that. Yeah, I just think. I love that Utah game sold me. And did he have bad moments this year? Absolutely, but people really overrate. I think. Okay, something that I value a lot is, as a quarterback, how much duress were you under? How much struggle did you face? And why I'm so turned off of Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud is now Bryce Young proved it to me this year. Bryce Young's still my number 1 quarterback in the class. But with C.J. Stroud, I was always he's got an NFL offensive line in front of him. He's facing no pressure at almost all times. That Georgia game did change my mind on him, for sure. I'm not going to sit here and admit that, but... I love Anthony Richardson. I think that the potential's there, and I just go off the potential a lot. There's a lot of mistakes to be made, and honestly, I'm terrified of him getting drafted to a Falcons or Panthers because here's where I think Falcons are the best way because Falcons love to use Mariota in the run, and Arthur Smith would make that happen because we saw this year with Jalen Hurts and especially the first 8 games of the year we kept on talking about it, where every team just runs now. That's why I was higher on Will Levis than a lot of people because, I'm way more tentative on Will Levis than I was to start the year, but you can just use a quarterback as a running back now and that works.
Yeah, it does.
Now when you get down the stretch, right, comes to the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts needs to make those throws, Patrick Mahomes needs to make those throws, Joe Burrow, but you really can use a guy like Anthony Richardson just in like the read option game.
Yeah.
And make it work. So I love Anthony Richardson. I'm putting that out there. Put that take out there in the world so we can look back in a year and see when I'm right.
I'm gonna say I kind of like him too, to be honest. Just
All right.
say I don't know the specifics about all the footwork and everything they need to do, but it seems like really tough.
When you're an athlete like that, you got I'd swing. I'd take the swing.
The thing I hear about him a lot is his footwork is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't know.
It's a little rough. It's a little rough. It kind of matters.
Next thing I wanted to just bring up. Hold up. Next thing I just wanted to bring up a little bit. The Bucks. What's their QB situation going to look like? I think the word recently is Will Levis.
Hilarious.
Trying to replace Brady. What are they going to do? I mean, they
Will
might
Levis,
have to
honestly,
trade up a little bit. I don't. What do they have? Do they have the 15th pick, 14th pick?
Yeah, I'm not.
Something
Honestly,
like that.
I'm not even sure. You guys are getting this live, folks. Do they even have a first rounder?
It may not.
Because that's what I'm thinking.
I think they do. Why wouldn't they? They
I don't know.
I'm not
What-
sure.
No, of course.
What trade would they have made where they don't have a first rounder? I wonder.
Before you look this up, to answer your question,
Yeah, you
I
guys
think
keep
they're
talking.
better off with having the roster that they have, getting like a veteran quarterback for a year, kind of like what the Seahawks did,
Like
and
maybe
just-
Derek Carr?
maybe, or a guy like that, and just seeing like if a veteran quarterback can do kind of what Brady did, and if not, then you'll have a bad enough season to where you'll have a high pick anyway,
Right.
and be able to get potentially Caleb Williams or
Right, because
you know.
whatever quarterback they draft this year potentially won't even turn out.
exactly, yeah.
So
There's no sense in trading up to a guy that you may just get there naturally next year anyway.
Right.
So I feel like this year they should just roll with a 1 year
Right.
veteran. Like
they are in the
maybe
worst
Melvin.
spot for a quarterback
Are
at
they
number
at
19.
Oh, interesting.
So they would have to trade up to get a guy like Will Levis. Probably
Yeah.
trade up to that like 12th spot. Maybe the Texans would be willing to.
Yeah.
But they're not low enough to like draft like a Tanner McKee or
No, yeah.
Hendon Hooker or anything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
And you can almost say a similar thing about the Commanders. They just got rid of Carson Wentz. What I think Sam Howell is the next guy for them. I mean,
hey, don't
Taylor
talk
Heineke?
smack on Sam Howell. I like
Taylor
Sam
Heineke,
Howell.
Yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah.
he's a guy
No,
you can just throw in there if Sam Howell has to be
Yeah.
on the bench.
They're definitely in like QB purgatory to where they're either gonna have to trade to get one or just sign another veteran for a year. Obviously, there's the Lamar rumors out there too. Who's he gonna get traded to, if anyone at all?
Mhm.
Do we really think he's going to get traded, though?
I don't know.
The guys like him just don't get traded, so I don't know.
We could talk about it in another podcast because
Yeah,
we
who
could
would?
devote a whole episode.
Well, the
to
Bucks.
that.
The Bucks did say. I'm pretty sure they had a report just this week that was like they feel comfortable with Kyle Trask going forward. Which,
Right.
hey, now you had a good
see,
season.
but honestly, they might be saying that knowing that like, okay, he's gonna suck. We're gonna get a really high draft pick next year
True.
with still a solid-ish roster around them, and be able to get. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
I mean, maybe not, but
Good defense.
they'll be able to naturally get up to the top 5, potentially even pick.
It's the
after next year.
unsaid thing that they're doing.
Yes,
They're just gonna say,
exactly.
"Oh, we'll
Smoke
work."
screen.
Well, that was honestly, and I just want to talk about this a little bit because we have one more point that we want to get to. But is that still
It's
working?
going.
Okay, sounds good. I just want to be sure. Cut that out, obviously. When you guys were talking about the Bears pick, if I were you, I wouldn't want the Texans. I'd want the Colts and a future pick because if you get a future pick, that is
Oh,
a
yeah.
chance at Caleb Williams or Drake May.
No,
And I know that you guys are high on. I know all the Bears fans are high on Justin Fields, and he is good. But like,
Yeah.
I mean, say you guys do fix that roster around him, and like it just isn't there.
No, yeah.
God, an opportunity at Caleb Williams or Drake May. That's tempting, man.
Either way,
It's
even if
really
Justin is good next year, which I think he will be.
Yeah.
Even if he is good, if you trade with the Colts, who are probably not going to be good next year,
Yep.
you could potentially get into the top 10, and get like Marvin Harrison or something.
Yeah. Oh my.
Like that would be. Oh my
I like
gosh.
next year's draft way better than this year's draft.
Totally.
Easily.
Totally. Yeah.
At a
Especially-
lot of different positions.
I don't know. QB maybe not. Like there's Caleb, and then there's sort of a drop off.
Drake May.
Well, Drake May, yeah, he's good too, I guess. But okay,
There's probably somebody else will pop
there's
up.
probably
on the scene.
someone else.
Yeah, I can't.
I
think
wasn't
of
even
it
thinking
right
about
now.
Drake May, so maybe I
But
should have just shut up and not said that.
no, don't.
Well, yeah. But yeah, it seems like this is a really deep QB class that we have this year. I don't think it's going to be as deep next year. So if Justin is good, then you have a chance to get another fantastic player in the top 10 if you make the trade with the Colts. If they do trade with the Texans, I don't know if they'll get that same luxury getting its pick next year. But they'll probably also suck too. So
Exactly. Number 5.
Number 5.
Let's end this pod.
I want to hear what you have to say about number 5, Bijan Robinson. With the state of the NFL and just football lately, running backs are being undervalued.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't know if undervalued is the right word, but the value of them is just lowering and lowering and lowering. And I know he right now is projected to late first round. I feel like he could even drop before then. Maybe
7th pick
more.
to the Raiders.
7th round pick. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Where is he gonna fall?
I think he goes higher than late first round. I think
Really?
I think he goes mid first round. I think people are gonna. I think teams are really gonna.
Is he the
follow
number
him.
1 running back in the draft class?
Not it's not even close.
That's
Not
not
even
true.
close.
It's close. Jameer Gibbs is
No.
up there,
No,
and I
he's
honestly
not.
think
No, he's not.
clip this. Jameer Gibbs will probably have a better rookie season. No, because
Oh,
because
Jesus.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you in your middle.
No,
of
no,
your
you didn't. No, you didn't. It's not the interruption. It's the absolute blasphemy.
No,
coming out of your
it's
mouth.
not blasphemy though, because the way that the NFL is going, it's going more toward the Jameer Gibbs type, the receiving back. Jameer Gibbs has like
Bijan Robinson's a receiver. Bijan Robinson
Jameer
has
Gibbs has
0
4.3
weaknesses.
speed.
Okay, cool.
Jameer
Bijan
Gibbs-
Robinson has like
Jameer,
unleveled shiftiness.
no, he does. He reminds me. He's
Saquon.
He reminds me of Saquon and J.K. Dobbins a little bit.
Mhm.
Like this, like the shiftiness of J.K., but just the overall athleticism.
Jameer Gibbs, man. Oh my goodness.
No, Jameer. Because I'm not saying that Jameer Gibbs is actually a better running back.
I
I'm just
see
saying.
what you're
Yeah, Jameer Gibbs is more like Alvin Kamara. He's not more like Saquon. Like it's just the style of.
I just
kind of reminds
I
me of
just
Aaron Jones. Shout out.
I think Jameer Gibbs has been somebody who had 2 great seasons at Georgia Tech, and then he goes to Alabama, and it's like Jameer Gibbs he's gonna put up all these numbers, and he just doesn't. And I know that was Bill O'Brien's play calling. I'm not like dismissing that.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, I
big-
think we're to me, it's at least
Sure.
like it's huge.
No, an overall skill of the running back position, I agree.
It's
with
gotta
you.
be.
I'm just saying, I think Jameer Gibbs will fit better in the NFL, and
I just-
last longer than.
Well, that's what I worry about with
How
Bijan.
big is Bijan Robinson?
Bijan Robinson's he's about 6'1", I believe, 6'1", 6'2". Gosh, I can't name it off
He
the
also
top of my
just
head, but
doesn't
he is
have-
bigger. He's bigger than Jameer.
Bigger.
He also just doesn't have that straight line speed like Saquon does too. I think the Saquon comparison is a little much. Like size
I
wise,
agree.
they're the same.
I agree.
Skill set, they're sort of similar, but I mean Saquon.
But when you talk about cuts and their ability to
Yeah.
I honestly Bijan Robinson's vision in the backfield,
Yeah.
like he does this and he does this on every run where he does this like drop down into a stance to kind of let the offensive line develop,
yes,
and he finds the right hole
Yes.
literally every single time.
no, he's great
Literally
at that.
every single time.
Yeah.
So it's this thing where I have to go like, because as a Texas fan who watched nothing but Texas football, the only time we ever lost yardage on a Bijan run is when Steve Sarkisian tried to get cute and had him run on like an outside zone and try and get him to the edges, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that, and that creates a lot of big plays. But like I'm just imagining, right? Let's say he gets picked late first round, like the Eagles. Eagles have the 30th pick.
I could see.
I don't think the Eagles pass on him. I
No,
just don't
no,
see that
no,
happening.
Absolutely not. That'd be a home run pick. for the
Exactly.
Eagles.
And so, I've honestly heard reports the Eagles draft him at 10. I doubt that happens. I'm just saying, I saw that somewhere. His just ability to cut out of the backfield is something that I've just never seen, where he just finds the open hole no matter what. You're gaining 4 yards with Bijan Robinson. So to me, he's the best running back prospect that I've seen since Saquon. I think that he's going to have an illustrious 6 years because that's all these running backs get. So
yeah, 6 years.
I mean, it's gonna, if you're a team, I'm trying to look at this like, okay, Bills at 27.
Oh my gosh.
The Bills just draft a running back. It's
Yeah.
like just do it. That's the one position on offense that you're weak at, and they're like, nope, we're going with Devin Singletary again. Oh, I see the Cowboys would draft him at 26 easily.
No, yeah, Texas guy. They'll probably cut Zeke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just seeing a lot of teams
That's a
here.
great
where it's
fit.
I
like,
wonder what Zeke's contract looks like right now. Is it done?
The rumors are that he's gonna get cut. So.
exactly. So
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
That's
as he
this
should.
this mock has him
He should.
projected to the Chargers at 21, and I honestly love that
It's a great
too.
fit.
Exactly. I honestly like him with the Buccaneers at 19, but I wouldn't spend it that high.
No,
I
the Buccaneers.
just-
They wouldn't
yeah.
re-sign Eckler and just
No, they'll still have Eckler too.
They'll still have Eckler, but like
Yeah, I
you,
guess
you,
who's
you
there
get
too?
you get freedom because then once Eckler's contract expires, you don't really have to worry about it. And Bijan Robinson, like I said, I mean, you just need for a team like the Chargers, you need electric athletes
Yeah.
if you just want to get to that next level. I see a
Mhm,
lot of these teams back here that are like next level. They're gonna take a chance on Bijan, even though he's a running back and they're just not.
I guess they'd be drafting for the future necessarily because like there's no guarantee Bijan's gonna turn out right away.
And there's no guarantee
With,
that.
I mean, with nobody there is, but like they have Eckler. I think they'll run with him next year. I don't
But
know
maybe Eckler. I mean, Eckler's hitting that. What? This is like a 6th year of being good. I mean,
Yeah, he
you know,
is.
you
That's
gotta
true.
you gotta watch
He's
out.
getting up
with all
there.
these
He's getting
running
up there
backs.
with running backs.
So, I don't know. I just think. I don't know. I love him. And obviously I'm gonna be a little bit biased, but he genuinely was one of the best running backs that I think we have had in the 10 years. Obviously the resume doesn't exactly stack up, but guy's actually absolutely electric.
Cole loves him.
I love
That's
him.
the take.
Mm-hmm. Same with Anthony Richardson, which I'll be right about all of these for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely won't just completely miss.
Yep.
Anyways, that's been it for us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe. Hit the bell notification. Be sure to give us a like. If you were listening on Spotify, please be sure to like this episode and give us a follow. Thank you guys so much. Have a great rest of your day, folks.